So, so before I start, I'd like to thank my friend Mairim for this opportunity because Mairim is something, a very special person in my life, Professor Mairim. And the other day, when we were having a conversation, Professor Mairim was talking that some of you in this group are not very good in English. She said a few of them are not good in English. Well, guys, I'll tell you one thing. In Brazil, Portuguese is the official language. In India, we do have 27 languages as official language. 27 different languages. So, English is not your mother language, and English is neither my mother language. And the problem that you face is being faced by almost 80% of students community all over the globe, all over the globe. So, no problem. I can clearly understand that even if you cannot reply me back, just try to communicate with the little words that you know. And to all those who are very good in English, I hope you will be with me throughout this program. So this is going to be just fun, just storytelling, no serious, no rocket science, no satellite science, nothing. This is going to be just fun and just stories. So are you guys audible with me, and can you clearly follow my conversation?
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. So fine. Is this lockdown in Brazil? Lockdown, and you're all from home?
Some, I think, I don't know, the most of the people are at home.
At home, okay. And a few are in the university.
Yes, yes.
Ah, wow. Oh, I miss Arakaju. My name is Gomathi Rajkumar. In short, you must have heard Haj in Camino das Indias, right? The hero name is Haj. But it's actually in India we say Raj because my second name is Rajkumar. It's not Haj. So guys, yeah, I think I can go ahead with the presentation. And I wanted you to talk, not just look at me. So for that, I think I should share my slides. Okay. So Anna Maria, can you tell me if my slides are visible?
No. Ah, now it's showing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So can you see something?
No, it's showing your picture.
Oh, it's just showing
from
my
Google.
picture.
Yes, from Google. The flower. Now it's showing the presentation.
Yeah, it's showing my presentation. Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, so before I proceed, guess this woman.
Maybe.
Okay. This is your Professor Mairim. Like she's in a very beautiful sari. And so before I start something with Professor Mairim, I thought I could tell you something very special. See, for every one of us in this world, every relation has got some very special bonding with us. It could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be your boyfriend, it could be your girlfriend. But of all the relations, this friendship is something very, very, very special. And for me, something that does not expect anything from anybody. So she's such a kind of friend to me, and it's such a privilege to meet her students. And for me, if you all are Professor Mairim students, then you are my students too. I don't see any differences between my students and her students. So you all are just with me, and she and me, we are just same. Why I say this is, she has stood with me not during my happy times, but she has stood with me during my hard times. So she's one among the person that I really would like to preserve and persevere till my last breath. So this is what Mairim is all about. And Anna Maria, like, can you see when I change the slides?
Yes, change it
Yeah.
to three pictures now.
Yeah, the third picture. Yeah. So, like, I have just displayed a few pictures of me with Mairim, my acquaintance with this pretty woman when I lived in Arakaju, and Eu Sergi Piana, if I'm not wrong, right? That's how you say in Portuguese. Eu Sergi Piana. Okay. And I lived in Suiza in an apartment, and I think it must be some 5 years since I left Brazil, but Brazil is always my segundo casa. Yes, second home. Am I right? I'm sorry. Forgive me about my wrong pronunciation of Portuguese, because I'm very, very poor in talking Portuguese. And the first word that I learned when I came Brazil was "I have now fallen Portuguese, desculpa." This was the first word that I learned when I came Brazil. So, so for me to travel to Brazil, there must be a reason. There should be a source. There must be a person, and he is the person. Professor Narendra Narayan. I hope you guys must have seen him in UFS. Like, can you see the slides? Anna Maria, is the slides visible?
When you put all screen, it's not showing for us.
Okay. Now?
Now it's showing, but it's very small.
Now?
Now it's showing, but it's very small. It's very
Okay.
small, the picture. Now, I think now it's better.
Yeah. So this man, who is also my godfather, is the reason why I came Brazil. One fine evening, I had a call from the super person, and he asked me if I'm Dr. Gomathi, and I said yes. He looked at my mail, he responded to my mail, and it is because of him I'm here. I was there in Arakaju. So this is the person who is behind my presence or my travel to Brazil. So I was there in the Laboratorio di Cromatografia and Flavor Analysis. And with that, I developed friendship with this lab. I hope you all know. So I had friendship with Farmacia, and Professor Adriano is whom I consider my brother. It's family for me. Professor Adriano, his wife Paulina. I hope you guys know him. So they are just my family. Professor Lucindo is again a family. So everything started with all these things. But it started with Professor Narendra, and then it became a family in Farmacia, and I became a partner and left, and that's how things started. And Mairim is my, what can I say, my partner in crime.
Gomathi,
So
the screen is black. When you put all to show all the screen, become black for us.
oh, you want the screen to become black? Anna Maria, I'm
No,
just stopping. Okay, 1 minute. I'm just stopping the presentation and I'm again attaching. So just please tell
Okay.
me if things are okay.
Okay, thank you.
Now is that okay?
No, it's not showing. Now it's showing. Yes, now it's better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So this is Professor Narendra. I hope you must have seen him. So he is the source for my present at Arakajo. He offered me the postdoctoral fellowship and I was there in LAF. And then I slowly like I had friendship with this team. And I do not know how many of you in this team you are aware. Well, this was how the story builded up with my life in Arakajo. Now, if I should have traveled to Brazil, then there must be some reason for me to come Brazil. So this is the person behind my travel. He is Professor Manian and his wife, his son, and we're all colleagues. My PhD degree was because of him. It is only through the PhD degree that I worked in India, and all the publications that I made had all offered me to come over Brazil and to live in Brazil. So to start with, the founder was Professor Mairim and his no, the founder was Professor Manian and his wife, and this is our team, and that's how I landed up in Brazil. Well, guys, that's so much of story. I think now it is time for us to get into business. So no more stories. I am here to share with you a few stories in my life of research where I started with my research. And so I'm here to narrate some short five interesting stories so that you could really what can I say? You could offer it could help you to some extent. Okay. So now my journey from 2007 as stories. Now I'm going to narrate you five stories of which the first one is Muntingia calabura. The second story is about banana pseudostem. The third story is about a compound called saponin. And the fourth story is about a plant called Scopia crenata. And the fifth story is about drying of food and volatile profile analysis. Now, before I proceed, Anna Maria, I wanted you to do me a favor. Now, since only the presentation screen is visible to me, I wanted you to help me in case if anybody of your friends wanted to ask me something, can you just stop me in between and can you let me know that, uh, what can I say? Can you let me know that somebody has asked some doubt?
Yes, sure.
Thank you, Anna Maria.
You're
So I
welcome.
hope my voice is visible, right? I'm sorry, I'm sorry, my voice is audible, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, now it's better.
Yeah, thank you. So friends, so now it is time for business. The reason why Mairim wanted me to meet you. So let me start with the first story, friends. And in case if you wanted to ask me something or you wanted to have some conversation, you wanted to say something, just you can stop in between and you can talk to me. There's no hard and fast rules. There is no like you pick and pick that, nothing of that sort. So now the first story is about Muntingia calabura. See, can you see a tree on this picture? Now, this tree was in front of my home. Now, I'm talking this about in the year 2009, 2010. So, what happened was, now this tree had a lot of special fruits, the fruit colors which you can see at the bottom, and a lot of birds in and around our places. They used to fly, come and sit on this tree, and they used to eat these fruits. But none of the human beings consumed these fruits. I have seen nobody consuming these fruits. All the small children nearby the home, they used to run for these fruits. These fruits will have a little bit of sweet taste. So this is how my journey with plant products and with natural compounds started. And I hope all of you must be aware with something what you call polyphenols, because polyphenols are the secondary metabolites that are present in the plants. I hope you must be knowing all these details. Now the plant prepare its own food in the presence of sunlight and water. At the time of stress, what happens is, in order to protect itself, in order to act as some defense mechanism, these plants, they secrete some compounds in order to protect themselves as a defense mechanism. And this is what literally you call it as secondary metabolites. Now, these secondary metabolites, they just sleep inside the plant and they only work only when it is needed. Until then, nothing happens. So, these secondary metabolites, which are residing in the plant, has been proven to have a lot of human benefits for the past couple of decades. I think for almost 20 years, all the researchers are targeting these polyphenols for various health benefits. Now, what we did is, we took these fruits, we lyophilized these fruits, and then we wanted to have a compound isolation. But then, as all of you know, that fruits contain higher amounts of polysaccharides, the carbohydrate molecules in them, isolation of single compound was not that easy. So what we did was, we did not go for isolation of any single compound, whereas we went on for collection of all these polyphenols. So we had a special method of extracting polyphenols, which is very well detailed, explained in this paper. And friends, to our interest, you know what we found? I hope all of you must have heard about green tea. All of you must be consuming green tea, the Camellia sinensis, which is known for its antioxidant activity. Some 12 years back, when I was working with this fruit, it was at the same time we were also working on Indian tea, Indian chai. And you know what we found? The kind of activity what Indian chai, what Camellia sinensis, that's how you call, what the tea leaves offered was almost equivalent to the Muntingia calabura fruits, which offered antioxidant activity. Whenever you do this DPPH, radical scavenging ability, and ABTS, radical cation scavenging ability, the kind of color formation and the kind of color bleaching was extraordinary when using this fruit. And then slowly what we did was, we made this fruit for testing for GCMS analysis. And then we found that the leaves of this tree had anti-inflammatory activity, which can suppress the inflammation, both acute and chronic. So what we did, we tested these fruits for the anti-inflammatory activity via, the in vivo protocols. Since all of you are from Pharmacia, I'm very damn pretty sure that you're very good in handling animals. You're very good in conducting in vivo studies, preclinical studies, which I need not explain, I suppose. So what we did was, we examined this anti-inflammatory activity via two methods, one being inhibiting carrageenan-induced poiedema, and the second was by reducing the weight of granuloma and cortin pellet-induced granuloma models in rat. So with these two methods, we found out that these fruits has got a wonderful anti-inflammatory activity. So as a next step, what we did was, we went on for the popularization of consumption of these fruits. What we said to people was, guys, please eat these fruits, because these fruits has got a wonderful anti-inflammatory activity and they had a wonderful sweet taste. No, you cannot say wonderful, but then it was okay to consume. And it could be blended very nice in juices. And that's how we got this paper published in Springer after a couple of years. And but then unfortunately we did not go for patent because we could not come up with any kind of product, as these fruits we cannot preserve them for a long time, and it was highly cost effective for us to preserve these fruits. So that was the reason why we did not go for like patent in its technology. But then what I would like to tell you is the idea of working with this fruit, sprouted just like that while sitting outside the home, watching the sky and watching all the birds flying. That's how we got to know that this fruit remained unexplored all over the globe. And I can still believe that I have seen these tree and these fruits in UFS, in Arakaju. I've seen at several places. So guys, Arakaju, especially, of the very beautiful place, I have seen lot of fruits being there, but then a lot of fruits has not been taken into consumption till today in Brazil. Say for example, there's a tree called Pithecia dulce, which I have seen on the roads of Suiza, which I have seen on the roads of Huacavello. But then, guys, none of you consume those fruits, none of you consume them. I have seen Moringa oleifera trees all along the roads of Aracaju, but I have seen none of them consuming those trees, those fruits. So what I say is, there is a lot of treasure that you have in Brazil. So please don't waste those resources. Take them, utilize them, take them into as your food, even though they are not your traditional food, or just work for any small things that is available in Narakaju. And please don't waste all these resources, because Brazil is one wonderful country where there is no cutting of trees. So all I ask you is, all the trees and all the trees that are nearby, all the fruits that you see, if you find them to be eaten by any bird, if you find them to be eaten by any small animal, it is a small check that you can keep on acute toxicity, which means these fruits and these leaves are worth for consumption. Okay, so this is a very small message that I would like to tell you. And I think this is the end of the story number 1. Have you guys got anything to ask me?
Alguém tem alguma dúvida, gente?
You want me to continue?
Vocês querem que ela continue?
Maria, do you want me to continue?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I do not know how you guys are feeling. Do you feel like this is a very vague story? Do you want more of in-depth, or this story is perfect?
Ela perguntou se vocês querem que ela fale mais sobre essa história, ou se o término da história já está bom para vocês, como é que vocês estão sentindo em relação a isso.
Yes, teacher, it's very good.
No other go. You had to answer something, right?
Yes.
Fine, guys. I do not know. No, this presentation, I just wanted to be very light. I wanted interaction, because the next presentation that I will be giving you will have a lot of techniques in it, will have a lot of details in it. So I just wanted to make this day very light, since I'm meeting you all for the first time. And I hope you can all follow me. I hope I'm not rushing. So my story number 2. Okay, guys. I hope all of you must have seen this, a banana tree. That's how you call plantain, right? Banana. No, there is something very special about banana in India. If you ask me why this story is, before I get into the topic, I would like to tell you how important is banana for an Indian. Okay, for a person from India, I'll tell you how important. See, you could see banana fruits that you all consume. This is the banana flower. in India, again, this is also being eaten. You could see this is what we call vada. Maybe this is prepared in a way like, I forgot the name. It has a spicy dish in Brazil.
Acarajé.
Pardon?
Acarajé.
Acarajé, exactly. Yes, yes. It's somewhat made like akaraja, okay? But then more spicier than akaraja. When I tasted akaraja, I never had any spicy content in it. The chili was very less, but then I could see my friends, watering. They were telling, "Oh, it's hot, hot, hot." For Indians, it is not hot because we eat more spicier food. Okay, so just like akaraja. So this is one dish. And the second thing is, now the leaves, right? The leaves of the banana tree, we use them as a plate. Can you see a picture at the bottom? You could see several dishes being laid. So that is considered to be the traditional way of consumption in South India. Say, for example, you come to my home in India, and I would like to offer you food with a lot of respect, with a lot of love. I'm supposed to serve the food in this plantain leaf with lots and lots of dishes around it. Okay, so this plantain leaf is of very auspicious importance because that's how we serve the food. So the leaves are also not wasted where it is used, where it is treated as a plate. Number two. Number three, now let us talk about this pseudo stem. Guys, I hope these three things are clearly visible. This is, now I'm talking about this trunk, okay, this stem. This is what I'm actually talking about. Now this stem has got three different portions where you can see an outer sheath all around, and then this portion is the inner sheath, and this portion is again the floral stem where you can see it with a very clear white space gap. Again, this is what we use for consumption, which means we remove all these outer sheath, we remove the inner sheath, we dig deep into this floral stem, remove the floral stem, chop the floral stem, and again cooked into dishes. And this is what you can see over here. This is also one of the traditional food in India, especially in South India. And guys, I'll tell you one thing, this innermost floral stem has got a lot of medicinal importance. If you have got any kidney problem, if you have got stones in your gallbladder, if you have problem with urination, mere consumption of juice from this floral stem is said to give you a lot of remedies, because in India we believe that food be thy medicine. We only depend on food as medicine. So for us, taking medicine is secondary. Food forms the first base of medicine. So again, this portion is also cooked into dishes. Now what else? Now you could see these outermost sheets, right? Now these outermost sheets are all being removed. They are removed strand by strand, and they are made into baskets. They are made into caps, and they are also woven into very pretty Indian saris. Okay, all these are biodegradable Indian saris. So banana is a one kind of plant in India with a zero waste. Zero waste. It has got no waste at all. No, at all. Every spick and span, every bit pieces of banana is used in India where nothing goes as a waste. Now you could ask me some more thing, why banana? Guys, I could also tell you one more thing. If any of you would like to propose to an Indian boy, or if some guys wanted to propose to an Indian girl, I have a secret for you. I hope you can follow me, okay? I hope this picture, it is clearly visible. Can you see the banana fruits kept on a copper plate? Okay, banana fruits are considered to be very rich fruits. Now in India, the marriages are spoken between the groom and the bride family. You know what happens? If you could keep a few fruits of banana along with 2 coconut, a few jasmine flowers, and if a bride If the family of the bride offers this to the family of the groom, it means that the parents are sealing the marriages between a boy and a girl. So that's how this is of so much of importance. Okay, and generally, if you could see here, this is how we tie the plantain, the banana tree outside our houses. This tying indicates that there is something auspicious happening in this home. Something good is happening. Somebody is getting married. Okay, or say for example, if a girl attains puberty for the first time, it is celebrated in India, and at those times they used to tie these banana plantain tree outside the home, which indicate the level of auspiciousness. So it is that important. Banana forms very important in Indian system, and here you could see several variety of banana fruits in India. Now, if you could ask me why banana pseudo stem, now getting into the job, you know what happened, friends? This outermost sheath and this inner sheath, we found out that not every sheath is being made into fibers. Not every sheath is being made into baskets. Not every sheath is being made into sari. A lot of sheath was wasted along the roadsides. So what we did was, we collected all the outer sheath of the banana, we dried it, we subjected it to polyphenol extraction, and we found a very small portion of crude extract. Okay, and if you could ask me what we did, cooking oil everybody uses, and I hope you must also be using cooking oil, because olive oil should be consumed only in its fresh state. We are not supposed to heat olive oil. We are not supposed to add olive oil via cooking. Olive oil is something, a kind of oil. How should I say? Oil, the oleo. No, oleo. Am I right?
Oleo. Yes,
Oleo. Oh,
you're right.
thank you, oleo. So that you're not supposed to heat it. You're supposed to consume it in a very fresh form. But whereas the other oil are the other things, like say, for example, mustard oil or those things that you can subject to heating. But unfortunately, friends, you know what happens is, lot of chemicals that we add for the preservation of oil. Say, for example, TBHQ, tertiary butyl hydroxyquinone, is one famous compound that has been supplemented in oil all over the globe in order to prevent the oil from peroxidation. Because oil peroxidation is one such process where once the peroxidation starts, once the oxygen atom comes in combined with the peroxides, it is a chain reaction where the primary peroxides are formed, which leads to the secondary peroxide formation. Say, for example, a lot of aldehydes like melandialdehyde are formed, and the accumulation of all these peroxides upon consumption is highly carcinogenic. So, the preservative that is added in oil is actually killing humans. Okay, for the past one decade, there are a lot of research that is happening in the food industry where people are trying to replace this oil, this TBHQ compound, with some other compound, so that the peroxidation, the compound that is supposed to prevent the oil is in turn agitating the oil for peroxidation. It is no longer saving, it is actually killing. So we were working with some of the compounds that you could replace for TBHQ. Well, that I would not be telling you now, because a few of those compounds are under process of patent. But then when we were working with a lot of compounds, say for example, some catechin or epigeneal compounds, we found out that the polyphenols that we extracted from banana, when we supplemented them as crude extracts in sunflower oil, if you ask me why sunflower oil, in India, there are three kinds of oil that is highly consumed. One is groundnut oil, groundnut. Number two is sunflower oil. And number three, it is mustard oil. Okay, even though we do have soybean oil, even though we do have rice bran oil, even though there are olive oil, it is these three oil that occupies the very important place in Indian cuisine. So sesame oil, which is mustard oil, sunflower oil, and the third one is groundnut oil, gingerly oil. So what we did was we supplemented this crude extract in sunflower oil, and we had a set of experimentation. We monitored the oil at high temperature. We heated the oil to 60 degrees Celsius, and we maintained it for almost 21 days to 48 days. And every 7 days interval, we withdrew some oil and we tested for three things: the peroxide value, free fatty acid contents, and p-anisodine value. I repeat, we tested for three things. Number one, peroxide value. Number two, free fatty acid contents, which are again the secondary oxidation products. And number three, p-anisodine, the typical secondary oxidation product, which you can assess through spectrophotometric method. And we found out that these polyphenols were capable of, retarding oil peroxidation. But then there was one problem while trying for compound formulation. The reason why I'm telling you is this, guys, because if any of you wanted to pick of any of these research projects, I could tell you that till this point things are success. But after that, we could not get for success because we could not spend more time, or maybe we did not have any idea where the problem was. So maybe I'm just trying to throw you some few research problems where half the way things were perfect, things were flourishing. But the problem where we found with this banana pseudostem polyphenols was, number one, we couldn't isolate the compound. Number two, we couldn't arrest the autooxidation of polyphenols automatically. If these polyphenols started to change its color, where the minute you expose this pseudostem to atmosphere, to air, what happens is the color slowly starts to change into brown, depicting the Maillard reaction. So we found it very hard to stop the Maillard reaction, and as a result, we couldn't proceed with a compound, a single compound that could be supplemented in the oil industry, which could replace the TBHQ. But then we were fortunate enough to get this paper published in the year 2013, and this still stands in Springer Link Journal. So with this, I conclude my story number 2, where again I would like to, insist to conclude, or to very strongly, assertively say that nature is the best medicine, and nature has given us an empty number of bioactive compounds which we still need to dig onto it for our commercial usage. So this is my story number 2. Guys, can I proceed, or do you have anything to ask me? Even if it is silly, even if it is a story, or even if you couldn't follow me anything anywhere, even if it was some small thing, please come up, guys.
Pessoal, ela está perguntando se ela pode prosseguir ou vocês têm alguma dúvida, mesmo sendo a menores das dúvidas.
Não, pode prosseguir.
You can proceed, please.
Ana Maria, eu tenho, desculpe pela demora.
Sorry, there is a doubt here.
Eu posso falar em português, você pergunta, Ana Maria, ou eu tento ler aqui do Google Tradutor?
Você que sabe, deixa eu falar ela. Gomathi, there is a doubt here.
Yeah.
A student asked for you. Você que sabe, Saulo. Tente. Vai.
Então,
Yes, I'm waiting.
Does the population in India use this part of the banana as a medicine? They têm...
Did you understand, Gomathi?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand. Can you repeat?
Ana Maria, se a população usa essa parte da bananeira como fitoterápico, como planta medicinal?
He asked Yes, he asked if the Indian population use this part of the banana as a medicine, as a phytotherapy. I think it is this. O caule é Saulo, o tronco.
Essa estrutura que ela estava falando da extração que extrai os polifenóis.
The structure of the tree, the banana tree, that you can extract the polyphenols. He asked if the Indian population use this part as a medicine.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes, definitely. As a medicine, not directly as a medicine. I'd like to clear one thing, not directly as a medicine, because banana leaves, I do not know if you have heard of something called Ayush in India, Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha formulation. We have something like very old traditional formula where the banana leaves, they used to tie banana leaves around the wounds, and you expose the banana leaf to the sun. You know, that banana leaf is set to remove all the the inflamed water that is being accumulated at the site of inflammation. The heat that is transmitted via banana leaf to the wound is said to seem that it has removed a lot of inflammation related disorders. Okay, number one. And number two, I spoke about this banana pseudostem that is being consumed. In Ayurveda and Siddha, all the patients that are diagnosed with problems in kidney and problems in gallbladder, they are asked to definitely take this pseudostem in their food as a medicine. And you can also find a few capsules made from this pseudostem for treating kidney related disorders. Yes, it is being also used. But the problem is that not all the population use, because it's a very highly huge populated country, and we have got a lot of medicine system, like to start with Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, okay, 80 medicine, and then we have homeopathy, we have allopathy. So there's a lot of medicine that is available in India. So the choice of picking their medicine depends upon an individual.
Você conseguiu entender, Saulo?
Sim, parcialmente, mas deu para compreender. Muito obrigado. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sim,
Gomathi.
Anna Maria, is he satisfied with my answer, or he just said it's okay, just leave it?
I think he is satisfied from his
Okay.
face. I think he is satisfied.
Gomathi,
Yeah.
I'm here now, so sorry about early in the morning.
No, sorry, madam. Yeah, go ahead.
And I lost your first story, but I can watch it later because we are recording.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, I'm just done with my story number 2. Maybe I can show you this slide alone.
Yeah, this is a question for me, but it's not about science. It's about your culture. Is that about the Indian culture, or is maybe something about the religion, like Hindu, or it's about Indian culture at all?
Yeah, that's a complicated
No,
question.
because I have traveled in another countries like Indonesia and Fiji, and it's the same thing about the banana.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Professor Mairim, to answer your question, let me tell you that the photos that I show you belong
Is this
to
your second story? All right.
Yes?
This is the second one. Okay.
Yeah,
I
the
lost
second
the first
story.
one.
Yes,
Okay.
the second story.
Mhm.
Okay. It is Hinduism that we call is actually not the religion. That is what something that I would like to tell you. If people say we are Hindu, the truth, the reality behind it, Hinduism is not a religion. Hinduism is a way of life. It is a way of life. Okay? But then, owing to the lot of politics that is existing in the globe, okay, the global politics, the world politics, people differentiate as Christians, as Muslims, okay? And that's the reason why now it is coined as the religion Hinduism. But to tell you one more truth, this religion, what you call Hinduism, is not different from Buddhism, because Buddhism had its roots from Hinduism. And it has spread from China. Even China, you can say they are Hindus. Partly the Buddhism, what they say, is all rooted from Hinduism. China, India, Sri Lanka, and this continues to the Maldives, Thailand, Japanese islands. So wherever you could see Buddhism, you could see that all these have got roots in Hinduism. So that's the reason.
If I ask you which one is your religion, you don't have.
Yes.
If I ask you about your religion, you don't have it, just a way of life. Or do you have it? Like you
That's
are
a
not...
tricky question. That's a tricky question. No, I will be selfish enough to answer you. I belong to Hinduism.
Okay.
That's Vehadadi.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay, thank you.
I'll proceed with the third story. You know, this story happened in the year
Gomathi,
2000,
excuse me.
2011.
A student said that in Brazil, the popular medicine use latex for the banana stem as a healing. Did you understand?
Can I repeat? You are asking me if the banana latex could be used as a medicine, yes?
No, he said that here in Brazil, the popular medicine uses latex for the banana stem as a healing. This is a thing that...
Watery sap from banana, you cannot call it latex.
Latex, yes.
Yeah, it's not latex. If it is white in color, you call it as latex. If it is watery, you call it as sap. And this exactly is what I'm also telling. Watery sap has got medicine. Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, that watery sap has got medicinal properties. But then, you know, the watery sap that you are supposed to take is from the innermost core, not from the outermost core.
Yes, thank
Guys,
you.
you understand?
Alex, você entendeu? Quem falou?
Entendi?
Sim, yes, he understood. He understood.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, I understand. You said seam is yes, I understand. Okay, now coming to the third story. Friends, this story started with a small consultancy work. Consultancy, I do not know if you have heard of this word consultancy. It's like some company have a problem and they approach the university asking for a solution to the problem. So this is one kind of work where I studied in the next city called Coimbatore, and there were a lot of poultry farms in and around Coimbatore. Now you could see a lot of chicken. That is what you exactly call poultry, where chicken are being reared. It's being grown. Now, one common problem what these farmhouses had were the fecal matter from the chicken was so nauseous, was so bad odor that people in and around, you know, who are living around this poultry farm, they started fighting with this farm owner, telling that, come on, remove your poultry farm, shift it to some other place where there are no houses, shift your farm because it is smelling very, very hard. And this person was in a lot of trouble. He didn't know what to do. And so he approached our laboratory because we were working on bioprospecting of herbs and plants. So he asked my boss, asking like, you know, he was actually moaning that people are fighting with him and the fecal matter, what these hens and chickens are dropping is huge, and the smell out of these fecal matter was troubling, was killing a lot of people around this farmhouse. So it was there we started a search for the compound called saponin. Now, saponin is again a secondary metabolite, but this chemical compound has its origin from the Latin word what you call sop. Sop is nothing but the soap that you use, which is detergent, which has got the foaming property. So once you rub your palms with a little water, you could see a lot of foams coming around, right? That is exactly a compound that is present in the plant, which you call saponin. And this saponin has got two properties. One is foaming property and the other one is emulsifying property. Foaming property is nothing but which give rise to a lot of bubbles. Just you lather the soap on your face, it gives a lot of bubbles. So saponin gives a lot of foaming property. Number two, emulsifying property is nothing but for all those people who have got constipation, who find it highly difficult to pass their fecal matter while they are going toilet. How should I say? Shushu, koku. I don't know, I forgot.
Shushu.
Shushu. Okay, Shushu and koku, the other one. So whenever they find problem going, passing off your stool in the toilet, this emulsifying agent will make your compound ease to pass via your anus portion of any human. So what we did was we went on a search for the plants that are rich in this saponin compound. You know why, friends? It is because of two property. Number one, that this combination of hydrophobic aglycone backbone with a hydrophilic sugar molecule, this is a very complex structure which helps in offering two property. Number one, the foaming property, and number two, the emulsifying property. Okay, so we formulated a feed, a poultry feed with lot of saponin containing compounds. Say for example, I do not know if you could follow me when I say a few common names like fenugreek, Trigonella phonum gratium. Cumin seeds are rich in saponins. And then a few plants, say for example, the betel leaves. I mean, all these are very commonly growing, commonly found plants in Indian dishes and Indian cuisines with a lot of saponin content. So what we did was we tried to make a saponin formulation and we tried to add it to the poultry feed, to the poultry feed, and we gave it to the chickens. And slowly what happened was all the chicks and all the hen and all the cock, they started to eat these food, which is supplemented with a lot of saponin compound. And gradually, when these saponins entered inside the tract of the chicken, what happened was it enhanced the stability, which means it reduced the intestinal ammonia. I'll tell you, it reduced the intestinal ammonia and the gut microbes, which is present in the chicken, it improved a lot. Say for example, you're supplementing with some probiotics and prebiotic to a chicken. So literally what happened was, there was a lot of nutrient uptake by the chicken so that the flesh of the chicken improved, the taste of the chicken improved, and the fecal matter when passed did not contain a lot of smell because all the ammonia which was responsible for this, odor was mostly removed by beams of saponin. So what happened was, guys, we did not publish this paper, and I would like to share the courtesy to this publication because we never published this work because it was a consultancy where people paid us for the work. We got them money from them and we gave them the product, which as per the policy rules, we are not supposed to publish it. However, after a few years, I suppose probably in the year 2018, I found one such similar work. What we have done was work by some people from all over the world, and not all over the world. This was a person from Australia who worked on it. And this is what I have showed you. Now, this publication is not mine, but then I had borrowed this from the Springer link. I'm showing you this because now there's a rising concern in all the poultry feed houses for the search of the compounds called saponin for two reasons. One, to increase the nutrient uptake in the feed what the animals are consuming. And number two, the reduced intestinal ammonia. As a result, your stools, your toilets don't smell bad. So again, point number 3. Now I again like to manifest that this nature is rich with a lot of plants and plant products, where this saponin is also something that I consider as a wonder bioactive compound, which is truly helping humans on all industrial, commercial, and medical uses. So this is my story number 3, saponin and poultry feed. Guys, do you like to ask me something?
It was very interesting. Like, I think it's very nice. Like, we could solve a problem, big problem, and yet increase the production. Like, congratulations. Very nice.
Guys, I wanted you, to work on so many things so that someday I could see some product from UFS being selling in India. So I would be waiting for something like that magic to happen. Okay. So now, guys, I'm proceeding to the story number 4. It's about a plant called Scopia crenata. I repeat, this is a tree called Scopia crenata. Now, this tree is very close to my heart because I had worked on this tree for my doctoral degree, probably some 10 years back. In the year 2010, I was working on this tree. No, not 10 years, 12 years back. How should I say 12?
Doze?
Dozy, thank you, Dozy. Yeah, Dozy, Ano Depois. Sorry, did I say something wrong?
Atrás.
12 anos atrás.
Okay. Okay.
But you can understand.
Agora is now. Tomorrow is?
Yeah. Yes.
Tomorrow is amanhã.
Amaya. And yesterday is?
Yesterday.
Ontem.
Huh?
Ontem.
Onte. Yeah, I'm sorry. Onte, I forgot. Thank you, guys. So how should I say? Onte doce anova. No, it's wrong.
Não, você fala só 12 anos atrás mesmo. Just 12 anos atrás.
Okay, doce anos atrás. Perfect. So
It's like 12 years past, something like that. 12 years past.
Yeah, 12 years passed. Thank you, guys. Thank you. There's something about this Scopia crenata is that if this is a tree, okay, maybe I think I could come to this and then talk about that. I worked on 2 parts of this tree. One was the stem bark and the second one was the leaf. And something special about this tree is this tree is an endemic species. In short, endemic meaning it is confined only to India, and not only just to India, only to South India, and not just South India, it is only to peninsular India, and not just peninsular India, it is present only in the 4 states of India, and you cannot find this tree anywhere in any part of the globe. So this is literally an endemic species. Fine. And I come from the state called Tamil Nadu. Okay. So when I collected the plant parts, the stem bark and the leaf from Tamil Nadu. But this tree is also present, it is also grown in few other states in India like Andhra Pradesh, Kerala and Karnataka. Fine, guys. So this is an endemic species. I'll tell you what happened. Now the picture that you can see all along the left side is the flowers, the peculiar flowers that comes out from the tree. They bloom only seasonal, and it's an evergreen tree where you can find leaves growing all over the season. And something that caught to my attraction is Guys, in India, we do have a few traditional medicine which you do not call by any name, but then this medicinal system of treating people has passed down from one generation to another generation and to another generation, but then you don't get to have any sort of documents available. You do not have any scripts. You do not have any evidences that these are the plants and these are used in medicinal property. And all, however, the details or the information of all these plants are just passed on from one generation to another generation. So in such a case, I found one traditional practitioner. You know what he did? In very, very small remote villages, if people meet with an accident, and if you know, if even if 1/4 of the hand is being cut, say for example, if 1/4 of the hand is also being cut, what these traditional healers do is, now you could see that, you know, the hand is being bent down because it's been cut. So what they do is they raise your hand. Say for example, your hand is cut. It is cut like this. Okay, it is cut like this. Say what they do is they raise your hand, and in all these cut portion, what they do is they mix the extract of the stem bark, they mix the extract of the leaf along with jaggery. Jaggery, I hope you all know what jaggery is. Accusar, am I right?
I didn't understand.
Jaggery, guys, the sweetened one, jaggery. Sugarcane juice, jaggery. Accusar.
Açúcar.
Asuka.
Yes, sugar.
Yeah, asuka. The one that is brown in color.
Açúcar mascavo.
Perfect. So what they do is, guys, now I hope you got the jaggery. Now what they do is, they mix the jaggery with the extracts from the stem, with the extracts from the leaves. They make it into a paste, into an ointment, okay? And they apply on all your cut and bruises. They tie it with a cotton cloth and they leave it. And, you know, to a surprise, you could see that there is a wound healing that is happening at a very faster rate. And even though there are problems with the nervous system, it is capable of initiating angiogenic activity, splitting of the nerves, and you know, these splitting of the nerves are capable of healing the wounds, not only exterior, but also interior. Okay, this was something that was in the practice, but nobody had any evidences, nobody proved anything, nobody had any documentation. So what I did was, I took this tree and I wanted to bring this tree to the world, that there is something, a tree called Scopia crenata belonging to the family Flacotiaceae, which is again an endemic species that is present in India. I consider this is one among the wealth of India, because India, we consider it as a land of paradise of medicinal plants, and Brazil equally a paradise of medicinal plants, because I have seen a lot of medicinal plants all along the roads, but then a lot of medicinal plants in Brazil needs to be tapped, needs to be known, needs to be ventured. It is all unnoticed. A lot of medicinal plants have been unnoticed. It lies just like on the roads. Okay, so I thought that this forum could serve as an, you know, as an eye-opening session, that there are so many number of medicinal plants that are available in nature that could cure the human beings' welfare. I mean, that could serve for the welfare of human beings. So back to the story. Now, this is one part of the publication which we published in Industrial Crops and Products, where the stem bark, I mean, the methanol extract from the stem bark and the extract from the leaf, you know, it had an excellent acetylcholine esterase inhibitory activity, wherein when we tested for its mechanism of action, we found that the stem bark competitively inhibited the acetylcholine esterase enzyme, while the leaf extracts had a sort of non-competitive inhibition, inhibitory activity when it was tested for acetylcholine esterase inhibitory activity. And all of you know, being the students from Pharmacia, the inhibition of this acetylcholine esterase will help you to relieve pain, will help you to relieve dementia, and it will help you to relieve a lot of nervous system disorders. Now, as a part of continuation to this activity, our next step was we ventured to see if they could serve as a good analgesic agent. Analgesic agent, the one that could reduce your pain. And so when they were tested in vivo, we could see that this acetylcholine esterase inhibitory activity in association with this radical scavenging activity offered an excellent analgesic potential from this plant, which is an endemic medicinal plant of India. Well, this is one published work, but then I think there is no harm in sharing the second part of the story is that I do have one unpublished work. I have not published this because till today, this work remains a riddle where I could not find, the real conclusion as what has happened. The parsing on to the second portion is the angiogenic activity of this plant extract along with wound healing activity. Now, when it comes to angiogenic activity, I actually assess this angiogenic activity in a chicken chorioallantoic membrane where you can see this. Now, this is nothing but, the vessel proliferation inside a 14 days chick embryo. And we found out that there was a rapid proliferation of the blood vessels in the chicken embryo when we substituted just the crude extracts of stem bark and the leaves. Fine, guys, which we found out that this was equally representing a faster wound healing activity. But you could ask me a question. I say that it had an excellent angiogenic activity. I say that it had an excellent wound healing activity. But then if you ask me why I could not publish this paper is, from several HPLC analysis, I found out that these sample extracts had higher contents of ferulic acid, had higher contents of catechin, epigallocatechin, and it also had epigenin in them. But friends, the compounds like quercetin, compounds like rutin, they play a dual role, which means they can induce wound healing activity with multiplication of cells, and at the same time, they can also suppress anti-cancer activity by holding, by retarding, by blocking the multiplication of cells. I hope now these are two contradicting things. What is contradictory is, in case of wound healing activity, if your wounds should be healed, there should be cell division. The cell should divide at a faster rate, only then your wound will be healed. In case of anti-cancer activity, the division of cells should be stopped. Cells should not divide. I hope you get the point. So, but then, in my case, I found out that these extracts were also capable of stopping the cell division and anti-cancer activity, and these extracts also increased the cell division in wound healing activity. So when I communicated this work to a very, very, very special journal, to American Chemical Society, I was asked one simple question: how could your extract could also multiply cell, and how could your extract at the same time stop a cell division? Which I have no answer till today. This is some part of research work where things are not yet clear as to how a single compound can support cell division. At the same time, a single compound can suppress cell division at two different places and at two different mechanisms and at two different disorders. I hope you understand my story. So with this problem, I have not found any solution today, but then I can strongly say I have seen things with my eyes that, the ethyl acetate and the methanol extracts from just the crude extracts of this plant had an anti-cancer activity and had an wound healing activity, which are two entirely contradictory things where I have not yet explored the mechanism as to how a compound can play a dual role. So this, I leave it to you. I offer you that this is one of the platform in pharmacia where you need to find the mechanism how a single compound can play a dual role in opposite direction in a completely contradictory way, but yet in all goodness way. Okay, in all healing way and in all curing way. So with this, I end my fourth story. So guys, have you got anything to ask me?
Alguma dúvida, gente? I think everybody is very good.
Okay.
No doubts. Okay.
You know, Maria, I'll
Oh,
tell you something. You will
yeah.
have no doubts for two reasons. If you do
Yes.
not have any doubts, it is two reasons. One, you understand everything completely. Number two, you understand nothing at all.
Yeah. I don't know what of this
No problem, no
this
problem.
option is occurring now.
Yeah, okay, well, fine. So now let me proceed with the fifth story, which is not a very big story because you guys must be, I think you must be busy with your break or something like that. So this is just a one-line story, my fifth story. These are a few of my UFS publications where I was working in Professor Narendra Narayan laboratory for the flavor and chromatographic analysis for my postdoctoral degree, where I was working on, tomatoes and a lot of vegetables, carrot, cabbages, lettuce. But then not all were published. I got only a few published, and still the other are being, carried out by juniors still in the laboratorio. And these are a few published work where we subjected a lot of fruits. I mean, we purchased these fruits from Centro, from Mecanthro, and then from G. Barbosa. So we collected a lot of fruits from several places. We subjected them to drying, and then we tested them for their volatile profile so that we could give you a check on the bioactive pick compound, which would give you that if this smell is emitted from this dried sample, it means that this is of very good quality. And if you find the other volatiles in a different ratio, this could offer you a qualitative parameter for using these products in industries. So these were some kind of unpublished work. I don't know, all these were a few published work, but then there are several other unpublished work uh, from the lab. So I don't think that I have much stories to offer because you could also join the lab for some of your postgraduate project or something like that. So drying and volatile profile is something very special of lab. That's how we say laboratorio the analasia chromatographic analysis. I'm sorry, flavor the chromatographic analysis if I'm not wrong. Forgive me for my poor Portuguese. It's laboratory of flavor and chromatographic analysis. So these are some of the published work where we worked on the food products. We subjected them to drying, and then we assessed the qualitative parameters of these food products using GCMS-MS analysis. And we had several sensory profile analysis. And with that, the story for the day ends, guys. So you're all free. So, Mairim, have you got anything to ask or anything to say?
Tá fechado o áudio, Mairim. Mairim, o áudio está fechado, o seu áudio está fechado.
Gomathi, thank you. I didn't see my picture early. Can I see? Oh, if you're sorry. Friend, before
wait. I still have a few other pictures. I showed this my acquaintance with a pretty woman. I hope you remember this picture. when you
I
came home
remember
from
this
puri
day. I
masala.
remember the food. I remember
This
the
was
flavor of the food.
Yeah, this was for puri masala. I think you can find some puri at this corner. And then these pictures were after the hospital. After you brought me to the hospital, that is what I told your students. I mean, I told our students that she is a very special person in my life. And because this person called Professor Mairim Serafini stood with me at hard times rather than stood with me at happy times. So she was there at all my hard times, a very special, close to my heart, which I would like to cherish till my last breath.
Oh, friend, thank you so much. You
And
deserve
then
a
I
lot.
showed Professor Narendra the source for my presence at Aracaju, because without him, me traveling to Brazil would not have happened at all. And then this was one lovely picture. I do not know if you remember. I think this
Yeah.
was on the birthday of Yasmin, where I came and, like, we were on both the sides of Professor Adriano. You were to his right and I was to his left. And this is one special picture I still have today. And I don't have any other picture to show, because these were the only few ones that I had with me. So
Yeah, friend,
that,
send me this picture. I don't have it.
you don't have this. Yeah, I'll tell
The
you. I'll
first
send
one,
you.
the
I'll
first,
send you.
no, the first
And
in your home.
yes,
Yeah. And friend, before I forgot, can you put in the first slide for me take a picture? First, with your title. Yeah, this one. I'll take just a print. Okay. Gomathi, thank you so much for being with us today. And please, can you tell us a little bit about your experience? About what I want to say is to explain to the students how important it is to have an international experience like you have here with us.
okay. You wanted me to talk about international experiences, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Guys, you know something? Never ever worry about language, because one thing what science offers us is, if it is chloroform, it is chloroform all over the globe. If you say it is a Erlenmeyer flask, it is Erlenmeyer flask all over the globe. If you say it is sulfuric acid, it is sulfuric acid all over the globe. So my kind suggestion, when I traveled Brazil, I never knew even a single word when I traveled Brazil. I did not know even it was called aqua for water, where I was explaining people about H2O, 2 hydrogen atom and 1 oxygen atom, where people could never understand. But then, you know what? Please don't feel scared that you're not good with the language, that you do not know any language. But then, only when you step out of your four corners, only when you break your comfort zone, you would love to explore a lot of things. Because breaking your comfort zone is not that easy. But if you have the guts to break your comfort zone, friends, you will get to know a lot of life experiences which you can cherish till your death. You will have a meaning to your own life. Fine? So it is for these two personal reasons I say you need to have an international experience. Number two, never worry that if your work is very small, or never worry if your work is very big. Whatever your work is, try to find some societal connect, that you connect to the society in some or the other part, where you are offering, even if it is a very small result to the society. So once you get to know that your work, what you are doing is favorable to society, try to look out for a lot of small internships and fellowships all over the globe. All over the globe. I could tell you a few countries which really offer. China is offering a lot of fellowship. Well, then now it is pandemic, so I will not suggest you anything. I leave it to you. I will not tell you decide this and that. But then, as far as I have seen, China is offering a lot of fellowship. Germany is offering a lot of fellowship. Finland, Norway, Sweden, Australia, India, Russia, South Africa are a few countries in the globe who are offering a lot of fellowship. Now, number two, if you wish you would like to travel, let me tell you about BRIC nations, BRICS. There is a forum on the globe where you call BRIC Nation Forum, where B stands for Brazil, R stands for Russia, I stands for India, C stands for China, and S stands for South Africa, where every year you can find this portal called BRICS, BRICS Nation Conference, which is being put forth on the website, where you can have an exchange fellowship program.
Sorry, can you write down this name of the? It's a website.
Yeah, I'm searching for the chat section. BRICS.
Okay. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this is one forum. Number two, please do check the websites of your country, because CNPQ is doing a lot of things. I acknowledge CNPQ for a lot of things, because no such platform in the globe, guys, I will tell you, no such platform in the globe is offering the fellowship what CNPQ is doing. Brazil is doing a wonderful job for the welfare of students, where the kind of fellowship that CNPQ is offering, you will not find in any part of the globe the huge amount of money that is being pumped into students' education and for the fellowship for the research. So what I say is, try to venture onto a lot of research articles. There will be some article that you love the most. Look for the person, look for the corresponding author, mail the corresponding author that you're very interested in this work. Ask him if he has any position as a fellowship that you can utilize. Ask him to let you know. Do apply and do travel, guys, because we believe that, as per our Bhagavad Gita, what we say is, a person, as long as he travels, a person his fortune sits. We say fortune. I don't know how to say in Portuguese. If you sit, your fortune sits. If you travel, your fortune reaches its glory. So do travel, and make a meaningful travel, and venture a lot of things. And you being students of Professor Mairim, I have no doubt that you would love to travel, because she is a person who loves to travel a lot. So I wish I could see you all coming India too someday. Maybe I could take the chance of being Indian, calling you home. Because if Brazil is my segundo casa, then you can say, if India is my primavera casa and primavera casa, am I right? Primeira casa. And if Brazil is my segundo casa, you can call India to be your segundo casa.
I'll be there soon, friend. I hope
Amen.
so.
Amen.
Gente, só vou traduzir isso porque eu não. Gomathi, sorry.
Yes, I know. I'm used to it for the past 6 years.
Porque é muito importante isso que ela falou, né? De a gente não se travar pela língua. Eu já viajei em países que as pessoas não falam nem inglês. Tipo, eu viajei falando por mímica, sabe? Eu tinha que pegar o ônibus para ir pro aeroporto, eu botava, tipo, dava calculadora para eles escreverem o número do ônibus, que era 1, 2, 3. Ninguém se comunicava, era por mímica. Então, a língua... Já vai, Renata. A língua, claro que a gente vai sofrer um pouco, né? Mas como ela falou, o principal é a gente sair da zona de conforto, porque isso é um grande crescimento. E um pós-doutorado ou um doutorado de sanduíche não é para a gente aprender grandes técnicas fora. É para a gente se desenvolver como pessoa mesmo e ter parcerias. Por exemplo, ela veio aqui, a gente não trabalhou juntas aqui, né? Porque ela ficou muito tempo no hospital. Mas quando a Gomathi voltou, hoje a gente faz muita parceria. A gente tem reunião muitas vezes, tipo assim, uma vez no mês a gente tem reunião, a gente está fazendo um projeto em parceria. Então, isso aí, o que importa é isso, se conectar com alguém e ter alguma experiência, tá? Com alguém. Renata, pode falar.
I just wanted to say that this year I went for the first time to Sri Lanka, and I had some classes. Yeah, and I had some some food class there, a kind of alternative medicine. I don't know if I can say like that, if I can speak like that, but it's a kind of alternative type of cure, and it was really good. We had some 2 or 3 classes, about 1 or 2 hours each one, and I got very big improvement of this kind of medicine that's very different of what we have here in Brazil. It was excellent. And when I saw your class today, I could see many similar aspects that what I saw when I was in Sri Lanka. It was really good to memorize that.
I understand you, Henata, because Sri Lanka was once a part of India, but then slowly it was made as a separate country later. So some 500, 600 years back, it was all a single nation. But then you could see a lot of similarities. Yes, true. And I think even your professor is so fond of Sri Lanka that she always says that she wants to go to Sri Lanka. Yeah, but yeah, that I agree with you. Yes, they do believe in this herbal medicine a lot. Yes.
And you told earlier about the Ayurveda. How you say Ayurveda? Ayurveda.
Ayurveda. Yes, you're perfect. Ayurveda.
I have tried last year. You remember? I told you. It was a really great experience. So we have some professionals in Brazil that are working with this medicine. So if you feel like curious about, I can share the contacts.
Madam, that is what I'm telling you, madam, because when I remember the days that I walked on the streets of Suiza, when I walk on the roads of this Huaca Velho, and on the time that I traveled to the UNIT University and to several other places, I have seen a lot of medicinal plants that I see in India are found in Brazil. I have seen them also on the UFS campus. But one thing is that I have seen that none of them go touch it, none of them go consume it. Say, for example, there was one fruit called Pithecellobium dulce. Okay, and I still remember when my brother came Brazil, he plucked those fruits, brought it to laugh, and when he tried to consume, Teresia, what she did, she caught my brother's neck and said, no, don't consume. Now come because this is a poisonous fruit. And then we said, no, this is not poisonous. It has got medicinal property. Similarly, Moringa oleifera. Oh my goodness, how could I forget? I could also, I remember this path from left to left, where I will have to travel a passage with a food court. There used to be a vehicle court, and then there used to be a food court, Banco de Brazil, and then Farmácia, right? I'm talking about the route from food technology to Farmácia.
Professor Gabriel.
What?
Professor Gabriel, in front of Professor Gabriel Labs, we have a lot of trees from Moringa.
No, not there. I'm talking about...
But that we have as well.
I'll take the path from my laboratorio, and then if I come to Farmácia, crossing via Banco de Brazil, before that, there used to be a vehicle stand for motors and all such things. So what happens is when you pass via those places, you could find a lot of Moringa oleifera trees that is being grown on the other side. But then I have seen no one consuming the leaves of Moringa oleifera because it is highly rich in antioxidants. And today, to the people of South Africa, they treat the food insecurity problem of South Africa with the leaves of Moringa oleifera. It is not being consumed in Brazil. So I think next time when I come Brazil, I should show you these plants and tell you that do consume this, and should teach you the way how to cook it, I suppose. Maybe we can...
Once I went in a conference in Cuba. How you say Cuba in English? Cuba. I don't know. And it's just about Moringa oleifera.
Yes. Maybe there should be a second part to Caminho das Indias to get these things popular, I suppose.
Okay. Someone have some questions?
It was a joke actually, and you killed my joke.
I don't kill your joke, sorry.
I said since Caminho das Indias is very popular soap opera in Brazil, I think there should be part 2 of the soap opera with all these details with Haj and Maya, so that people will understand all the medicinal plants in Brazil.
Yeah, friend. I remember once Saran had some problem in his eyes, and he collected some plant on the middle of the street and used that. And some plants that you never use. It's like
I get it. I get it. So maybe next time when I come Brazil, I'll show you all those plants then. We never had time to venture out last time.
please. Okay. So
Yeah.
anybody? Questions?
Mairim, I think all the students are, really upset because I don't think so they really enjoyed. And I'm sorry if I had really killed their day.
No, friends, do you know what's happened? It's lunchtime. Everybody wants to. Maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's
Oh,
Koopa.
I'm sorry. You are on your time, but maybe this is the problem.
Somebody had raised their hands. Fernanda, want to ask you something?
I have a question about the third story, I think. The Scalopia crenata.
Scalopia crenata, yes.
You said the plant has the property of its anti-cancer and healing, right?
Yes,
but
yes.
Are you
yes.
still working on that plant?
Yes, I'm still working because I have not yet come to a conclusion. So I'm still working on this plant. Yes.
It was very interesting too, this, because I think it has a huge like if you come to good results, right?
No.
Fernanda, eu
I'm
acho que
sorry,
a
I did not
internet
understand.
é a minha ou é... It's someone here?
Tá cortando
It's
mesmo,
nice.
Fernanda. Não deu para entender o final, não.
Yeah, I think. Eu acho que
I said that if when you come to the conclusion, it will be great results. Because
Yeah. And for that, if I wanted to come to some conclusion, then I would love to have the support of Pharmacia because UFS Pharmacia has got the best team of researchers with you, with Professor Mairim, Professor Adriano, Professor Lucindo, Professor Marcio. So if I wanted to come for the conclusion, I would be requiring help from big researchers from some other country, not just Brazil. I wanted Brazil to be in it. And I also wanted some other nation to be in it because that is a complicated problem and which has not been touched till today. Maybe let me see in future if I could solve it. Amen.
Thank you for the class. It was really good.
Muito obrigada. Pleasure is mine.
Mais perguntas? If someone has more questions, we will see Gomathi again on Friday. Okay? Friday? Ok. Então, sexta-feira tem aula de novo com a Gomathi. Se vocês querem perguntas, faremos sexta. Gomathi, thank you so much. We love this.
Pleasure is mine indeed. Muito obrigado. I have something to write. I do not know if it is right. Eu am prazer para conhecer todo.
Conhecer todos?
Yes.
It was a pleasure to meet everybody.
Yes.
Conhecer todos. Thank you, Gomathi.
Para você também.
Guys, bom dia.
Okay.
Have a good for you.
Have a nice day.
What time is there now? What time is in India now?
It is night. 20 hours.
Okay. Have a good night.
Perfect. And all of you have a nice day. And how should I say? Bom dia. Boa tarde, right? Boa tarde. Go have your food, guys. Ciao. Muito obrigada, Mairim.
Obrigada.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tchau.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.